industry hit hard by the COVID-19 pandemic. Why restaurant owners say they can't wait much longer to open their doors. And while golf courses are back up and running, players are having to adapt to new rules. Why golfers won't be able to crack open a cold one while playing around. Plus, COVID-19 could impact your retirement savings. What you can do to protect what you worked so hard for.
Live, local, breaking news. You're watching News Channel 3, live at 6.
Good evening, I'm Callie Rainey. Thanks for joining us tonight. Well, the curve is continuing to flatten in Michigan. Today, state health officials reported 430 new cases of coronavirus disease 2019 in the last day. Here's a live look at the latest numbers from the state's website. You can see there are now 46,756 confirmed cases of COVID-19 in Michigan. There have been 133 new COVID-19 related deaths in the last day. So far, more than 4,500 people have died of the virus. More than 22,000 people have recovered, though. Now, let's break it down here in West Michigan. Kent County continues to have the highest number of cases in the area, with 2,213 people testing positive in the county. Kalamazoo County has 591 confirmed cases. Not pictured here, Cass County with 41 cases and Berrien County with 384. Detroit is the hardest hit city in the state. Now we're hearing from the city's mayor about the flattening curve. Mike Dugan says the people of Detroit stepped up in the city's time of need.
If you go around the city today, our residents are overwhelmingly wearing masks on the street. We haven't had to close the parks. We haven't had to do curfews. We've had, I think, virtually no arrests. The people of this city, sometimes they gather. When the police comes up, they break up in a very cooperative way, and I think people can feel the difference.
Duggan says the city is testing more than 1,500 people a day. And this week, officials tested 200 nursing home residents. And Michigan's largest restaurant trade group is calling on Governor Gretchen Whitmer to reopen dine-in at restaurants by the end of the month. The Michigan Restaurant and Lodging Association released what it calls a roadmap to reopening. It's a step-by-step guide to safely reopen restaurants. News Channel 3's Andrew Feather shows us why they say restaurants can't wait any longer.
As COVID-19 is ravaging Michigan, infecting almost 50,000 people and killing more than 4,000 more, businesses around the state are taking a major hit. One of the most impacted industries is restaurants, which have been closed to dine-in customers since March 16th. About 90% of Michigan restaurants have laid off or furloughed workers, according to a survey by the National Restaurant Association. The Michigan Restaurant and Lodging Association estimates restaurants in the state lost out on about $1.2 billion in sales in April alone. Now the organization is calling on Governor Gretchen Whitmer to allow restaurants to reopen March 29th, when her current executive order closing places of public accommodation expires.
They do not have the cash flow to see them through this level, this prolonged closure. So they need some clarity. They need some guidance and a date certain that they can open.
Justin Winslow is president and CEO of the MRLA. He says restaurants need certainty about when they can open in order to address the supply chain and train employees on safety measures. Winslow says he hopes the organization's roadmap to reopening, which was sent to Governor Whitmer, provides assurances the restaurant industry is taking safety seriously. Among the steps, social distancing of 6 feet for all guests, spacing all seating areas to maintain social distancing, marked spacing in communal areas including lobbies and restrooms, and employee health screenings and personal protective equipment. In a news conference Thursday, Governor Whitmer said bars and restaurants would not be allowed to reopen until the state reaches the 5th of 6 stages for re-engaging the economy. Michigan is now in the 3rd phase. So far, the governor has allowed some sectors to resume, including construction and, starting Monday, manufacturing. A statement from the governor's office said, quote, "She will be making decisions based on science and data." She has brought together leaders in healthcare, business, labor, and education to develop the My Safe Start plan to re-engage our economy in a way that protects workers and their families. She will continue to listen to medical experts and put the health and safety of Michiganders first. Winslow says right now about 20 restaurants in Michigan close for good each day. He says the very survival of many more is on the chopping block if they don't reopen soon.
Restaurateurs are closing and shuttering their doors for good. They need to be given the opportunity to demonstrate to the public that they can operate safely.
Now, Winslow says the organization isn't blaming or criticizing the governor's actions. Instead, it's trying to encourage her to give restaurants a chance to succeed. Reporting from home, Andrew Feather, News Channel 3.
A Kalamazoo golf director is asking all golfers to follow COVID-19 guidelines on the course. Otherwise, he says courses run the risk of having to close. News Channel 3's Genevieve Grippo joins us now live to explain what courses are saying as golfers get out on the greens. Genevieve?
Callie, golf courses were among the businesses having to shut down because of the coronavirus. They've been reopened for about 2 weeks now, and local golf leaders say they want it to stay that way. That's why they sent out this email from the Kalamazoo Municipal Golf Association to local golfers. It says the association needs golfers to know what the rules are and how to follow them so that they can remain open. Those rules include social distancing at all times, even in the parking lot. And another big one, not bringing any alcohol onto the course. That's a violation of their liquor license. KMGA Golf Director Dean Marks says he understands people are excited to get back out on the course with their friends, but he says golf needs to set an example.
We don't want golf to have a bad image out there. Say golfers aren't going to abide by the rules. We think the rules are very easy to abide by, and we just wanted to remind everyone that we got to follow them too.
The dial is starting to turn back towards normal on the golf course. In fact, Mark says just yesterday they were able to start renting out golf carts once again. Reporting live from home, Genevieve Grippo, News Channel 3.
All right, thanks, Genevieve. Well, COVID-19 is impacting many aspects of people's lives, including those retirement funds we worked so hard for.
As we've moved along through the COVID experience, we've seen that qualified retirement plans like 401ks or 403bs are not immune, and they're affected as well.
This is Ted Schmelze. He's a senior director for Securian Financial Group. He says there's 3 things employers can do that impacts your retirement savings. 1, they can withhold from fund matching. 2, they can retract the plan altogether. And 3, they close up shop, which puts your plan on hold. Tonight at 10 on CW7 and at 11 on News Channel 3, we'll tell you how you can protect yourself from these scenarios. Taking you now to downtown Kalamazoo, you're looking live through our Peregrine Tower camera. And despite the wind and the cooler temp, it's a beautiful day across West Michigan. Meteorologist Will Haney joins us now live from his home. Well, it looks like families are going to have to celebrate Mother's Day inside tomorrow.
Yeah, Callie, unfortunately, rain looking to return for your Sunday, and so Mother's Day looking like a bit of a washout. I do want to just touch on the fact that we did tie a record morning low today. 24 ties a record set all the way back in 1947. And here's a crazy kind of climate fact for you. This year, December, we were actually warmer, both in terms of an afternoon high and a morning low on Christmas than we were today. That I got it right. But yeah, low temperatures across West Michigan, some spots even in more rural locations coming in below 25 degrees. That could be detrimental for some of our fruit crops. We should know more in the coming days as to how bad the damage truly was. Right now in South Haven, waves have been an issue today. It's definitely choppy to be out on the water. Temperatures across the state are in the low 50s for many locations. You can see everyone for the most part here in West Michigan ranging from about 50 to 52 still. Wind speeds noticeable. It's out of the west-northwest at about 10 to 15. Gusts today got up to 40 miles per hour in Grand Rapids, a bit more than we were anticipating, and 37 mile per hour wind gusts reported at Kalamazoo Battle Creek International Airport. For your evening, we stay clear, but clouds start to increase late tonight, and then we'll talk about the arrival of showers and even when a few rumbles of thunder could be in play tomorrow, Callie, in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Will. Well, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo is addressing a new ailment in children that may be related to COVID-19. Dania Bakis has the latest developments.
New York Governor Andrew Cuomo spoke about a mysterious illness that has now taken the lives of 3 children in the state.
Toddler elementary school children are presenting symptoms similar to Kawasaki disease or toxic shock-like syndrome.
Cuomo says the ailment affects children's blood vessels and potentially the heart. It does not appear to attack the respiratory system. But the state health department is studying 73 cases in which children with the syndrome have COVID-19 antibodies or test positive for the coronavirus.
This is the last thing that we need at this time with all that's going on.
New York, the nation's hardest hit state, has not started easing stay-at-home restrictions. The rules are set to expire Friday, with plans to gradually reopen businesses in some areas. Open Up Kansas protesters rallied near the State House in Topeka Saturday.
Every job is essential.
Governor Laura Kelly's phased reopening plan took effect on Monday. In parts of western Pennsylvania, retail businesses opened their doors on Friday, giving shoppers a chance to support local businesses.
They know you by name, they know your style, they know, so, I mean, it's important, just having that interaction.
In Tennessee, residents took advantage of this weekend's partial reopening of the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. And in Ocean City, Maryland, the chilly temperatures didn't deter dozens of people from lining up for boardwalk treats at the reopened beaches. Danya Backus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
The U.S. Army is offering a $25 million contract to a tech company. The company can develop wearable sensors to detect COVID-19. The Army wants proposals that include existing technology. The sensor would be worn on the body, possibly on the wrist, the shirt, or maybe the belt. The Army wants the device to indicate if the person is having difficulty breathing or if they have a fever. If symptoms are detected, then the service member can be fully tested. We've been tracking how this pandemic is impacting people right here in West Michigan. To see our complete COVID-19 coverage, look for the coronavirus tab on the top of our website at wwmt.com. Tonight, a West Michigan congressman is getting ready to face his first hurdle in his presidential run. Congressman Justin Amash will be on the virtual stage for his first presidential debate tonight. He's taking on 4 other candidates vying to win the Libertarian Party's nomination. It's Amash's first event since announcing his run last week. The debate starts tonight at 8 on the Libertarian Party's YouTube channel. We'll have coverage of the virtual event tonight at 11 on News Channel 3. Well, farmers are finding new ways to connect with people while social distancing. How one West Michigan farmers market is making it easier for them to adapt.
Didn't realize there'd be that many. That was incredible.
A former fire chief passes away. How his community is coming out to show their support in a big way.
Live performances in our state.
West Michigan farmers are finding new ways to connect with customers during the COVID-19 pandemic. News Channel 3's George Rodas tells us why farmers say they have to adapt.
The Kalamazoo Farmers Market is changing the way it does business for the time being. Usually all the tables here are packed with vendors and people are walking all around. Right now, everyone pre-orders and drives through to pick up produce.
Farmers, out of anyone, are known to be super resilient and super adaptable. So just us being able to provide a place for them to sell their products that they have growing right now is a huge opportunity for them and for our community to have access to healthy foods.
It's good to get out here and do it even in a limited capacity. You know, it's not like having the big crowds of people in here and being shoulder to shoulder, but at least it's a start.
Other farmers are taking advantage of the web. Visser Farms is using this Facebook group, Rico Market in Holland, to connect with customers. They post pictures of their products. Other farmers list what they're selling. People buy, and both farmers and customers meet up on Thursdays during a 1-hour window for pickup.
Now is a great time to get to know your farmers. Really, you want to know where your food is coming from in times like this.
Farmers say they're just hoping to get back to normal, and soon. But some also say they're not sure what normal will look like. What they do know is they'll continue to adapt as much as they can. Reporting from Kalamazoo, George Rodas, News Channel 3.
The YMCA of Greater Kalamazoo is expanding its free meal program for people in need during this pandemic. The organization is adding 2 locations where people can pick up free meals. You can now pick up meals at Stadium Drive Apartments in Kalamazoo and Millam Meadows in Portage. They'll be there Monday through Friday from 4:30 to 5 in the afternoon. Monday is the first day for the new locations. Well, some people are spending this weekend celebrating the mothers in our lives. That's because tomorrow is Mother's Day. And here's a look at some of the West Michigan mothers you all are celebrating. And what do you know? Here's a picture of my mom and I. And here we've got a family, a mom, Susan Metler, and now grandma to 5. Love you from Colin. And then let's see here, Dolores, happy Mother's Day. You are always there for everyone, loving, kind, and full of laughter. And I think we can all say that for mothers. Thank you for always being there for us. And we want you to chime in and honor your mom by heading to wwmt.com or downloading our free News Channel 3 mobile app. Will?
Yeah, great day, you know, to call your mom and check in. I know it's a little weird this year with all of us socially distancing at home, but, you know, do what you can to definitely check in at the very least. Here's the view right now in Lawton. Clear skies right now, and it's still pretty chilly out there, still pretty breezy. We're seeing temperatures in the lower 50s. It's 52 right now in Allegan, 52 at the moment in Kalamazoo, but fortunately we do have that sunshine. Yeah, look at the last few days in terms of this temperature history plot. Yesterday, we were 22 degrees colder than average in terms of the high. We set a low temperature record actually late last night for yesterday, and then we tied the record again for this morning. Hour by hour keeps us clear tonight, so look for a clear evening, but then cloud cover starts to increase after midnight, and as we get into early tomorrow morning, by daybreak, a few showers looking possible. Most of them, at least for the first few hours of daylight, stay up north of I-96. I think it's after 10 a.m. that the more widespread showers and even rumbles of thunder start to move in, but I think that greatest chance for some thunderstorm activity is between about 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. You see those areas of orange and yellow there on hour by hour. That's kind of indicating that potential. Temperatures in Kalamazoo, I-94 South should make it into the lower to mid 50s briefly before we start cooling off into the later evening. And behind the system that's driving all of this rain, we actually could see a brief switch over to some snowflakes, if you could believe that, by about 10 p.m. tomorrow night. Anything would not accumulate. It would just be sort of a shock to the system, if you will, to see a few snowflakes flying around. For tomorrow, future precipitation anywhere from about 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 of an inch is what it's looking like. I think the higher totals are going to be south of I-96 and almost concentrated along I-94 and south, where we could see again some thunderstorms. Now, I think I gave you that threshold, about 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch. If we do see the thunderstorms tomorrow, we could see some isolated higher totals. And Callie, she just showed us this photo on that Chime In page, but I was going to surprise her by putting this into a graphic. That is not a flower child. That is Callie Rainey, who's maybe a flower child. I don't know, but that's her mom. And we want to celebrate, again, the moms in West Michigan. You can chime in at WWMT.com. I'm also going to be pulling some of those photos, featuring them during our morning news tomorrow. So it's kind of a fun way to maybe surprise your mom with a shout out. And temperatures tomorrow, again, lower 50s, rain, and even some rumbles of thunder looking likely. So while we have the fun graphic, we don't have the most fun forecast for Mother's Day, unfortunately. I do also want to mention that by the next few days, we won't have to worry about frost or a hard freeze, but by Tuesday, Wednesday, we do. We have temperatures falling into those lower 30s. We'll have clear skies, calm winds. It's a perfect setup to, at the very least, see some decent frost. Right now in Battle Creek, it's 51 degrees. I was actually out in Springfield earlier, playing a little disc golf, and that wind, it was whipping. I also want to take you live right now to Kalamazoo, overlooking Bronson Park through our Peregrine Tower Live Eye. And it is a beautiful blue sky overhead. Overnight tonight, we fall to about 40 degrees, so not nearly as cold as the lower to mid 20s some of us saw this morning. For tomorrow, rain looking likely. The wind out of the west at about 10 to 20. We won't have as gusty of conditions, but the sustained wind speed will still be kind of right where it was today. Your Maple Auto Group 7-day forecast showing a dip in those temperatures behind the system tomorrow yet again. For Monday, fortunately, high pressure builds in, so we'll see some sunshine. Look at the warmer temperatures, though, later this week. Finally, it looks like we're going to be a little bit more spring-like by the end of the work week, and some of those temperatures looking to hold, Callie, through next week. It's the news we've all been waiting for.
Yes, thank you, Will, and thank you for the surprise. It was still special.
Of course.
All right, well, honoring a fallen fire chief during a pandemic, how one West Michigan community is coming together in a unique way.
Answers to coronavirus in your...
In a time where memorials and celebrations of life are done differently, one local police chief is remembered with a very special salute. News Channel 3 photojournalist Jason Harris was there, and he shares some of the sights and sounds of the special event.
Contacted a couple people, some good friends of ours, and they set it all up. Here they come. Oh, we thought maybe 5 or 6.
Didn't really know what to expect. It was just the tribute for our father in the police department. He was a police officer for 25 years. It was emotional seeing it. It was.
Didn't realize there'd be that many. You'd be so impressed. All these friends that have come out. I mean, they've come out of the woodwork.
people who he coached in Little League and the Scouts and everything, and all remembering.
Gave tickets to and bailed out of jail and all kinds of stuff. Just to have all your friends and family around. You know, you can't get too close to him, but everybody was so willing to do whatever we asked. He had a lot of friends. He touched everybody.
And the house that the former chief lived in, he actually built just as a hobby. And for an extended look at the drive-by salute, visit our website at wwmt.com, where you can download our free mobile app. Well, the happiest place on earth is getting ready to slowly open back up. Walt Disney World is reopening this month. Disney Springs, the resort's entertainment and retail complex, is set to start a phased reopening on May 20th. There will be new safety precautions in place. Cast members and guests will wear masks and limited contact guest services. The rest of Walt Disney World, including hotels and theme parks, will remain closed.
I'm more of a Universal guy myself.
Me too.
That's a long story there, but Disney is fun. It's the unpopular opinion, Callie, but I'm just saying. All right, rain on the way for your Mother's Day, unfortunately. Sorry to all your moms out there. We couldn't deliver on that forecast, but yeah, it's going to look soggy pretty much all day. Sunshine to follow and warmer air to wrap up the work week.
All right, thanks for joining us tonight. We'll see you back here at 11 on News Channel 3.
Hi everyone, I'm Erica Moke.